What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're taking a look at 12 weapons that you need to craft now before Lightfall releases. Now that Bungie has opened the floodgates on seasonal deep sight weapon patterns, Guardians can claim one deep sight weapon from each of the Helm's vendors each and every day, before these weapons, their patterns, and vendors go away at the end of the season. This is, of course, as long as you have the necessary umbral energies and have unlocked the required vendor access. With that being said, with over 30 weapon patterns available covering a span of 4 total seasons, which of these weapon patterns should you prioritize over the rest? Well, to answer that, let's go back to the first of these seasons, Season of the Risen, where there is one standout weapon pattern that you really need to unlock and craft, and that is the Recurrent Impact, a fast-firing 900 RPM stasis heavy machine gun capable of rolling with headstone, which will be great up against unstoppable champions in Season 20. Otherwise, Recurrent Impact offers options of firing line or frenzy, along with subsistence or perpetual motion, making it an extremely lethal weapon going into Lightfall, a DLC which will see several buffs to heavy machine gun damage output and overall performance. Before we dig into Season of the Haunted's hottest weapon patterns, if you do end up enjoying today's video and finding it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. Season of the Haunted offered some incredible weapons that were some of the first to offer Incandescent as a weapon perk, and the big standout from this lineup is none other than the Callous Mini Tool. This thing is absolute fire, with options of Unrelenting, Grave Robber, or Threat Detector alongside Incandescent. At 900 RPM, this SMG cuts through enemies like a hot knife through cold butter, and it's a must-have weapon to go into Lightfall, where the Callous Mini Tool will see several advantages, as you'll be able to pierce through anti-barrier shields while radiant and stun unstoppables with scorched ignitions. Season of the Haunted also introduced one of the first stasis rocket launchers, the Bump in the Night. While it has been fairly underrated so far, this is about to be an extremely versatile and top-tier rocket launcher when it starts stunning Overload and unstoppable champions. Bump in the Night offers some extremely rare combinations that include either Demolitionist, tracking, or auto reload, paired up with chill clip, vorpal, or even chain reaction. Whether you're using an arc or stasis build, this rocket launcher can be very beneficial. With linear fusion rifles getting nerfed in Lightfall, rocket launchers and grenade launchers will undoubtedly see a rise in the sandbox, and you can be sure that the Bump in the Night will be amongst the mix. That brings us to Season of Plunder, where we saw the introduction of Arc 3.0 and an extremely powerful weapon trait called Volt Shot, which will be able to stun Overload champions in Lightfall. Volt Shot just so happens to be featured on several of the seasonal weapons, including the two standouts that you do not want to miss out on crafting. Those are the Tarnished Metal Scout Rifle and Brigand's Law Sidearm. The Tarnished Metal features an extremely unique combination with Demolitionist and Volt Shot, which synergizes beautifully with Arc 3.0 builds. It's snappy, it's accurate, and very lethal, and more than worth the investment in getting and crafting, as is the Brigand's Law. One weapon type that saw significant benefits from full auto mode being added was sidearms, and with options of Feeding Frenzy, Perpetual Motion, or Threat Detector paired up with Volt Shot, this can be one devastating 450 RPM sidearm, ready to take down champions and plow through enemies in PvP or PvE. And now we move onwards to Season of the Seraph, where there are 3 standout weapons that you do not want to miss out on. Those are the Aikilos SMG, the Retrofit Escapade, and the Fire and Forget Stasis Linear Fusion. While linear fusion rifles will be seeing a nerf come Lightfall, the Fire and Forget offers something that no other linear fusion rifle does, and that is a double dose of Headstone and Chill Clip, 2 perks that will absolutely destroy champions in Lightfall. The Fire and Forget is a 3-burst linear fusion rifle, much like the Storm Chaser, but with slightly more recoil, plus the added benefit of being craftable. While it probably won't see a shot at top DPS, its versatility against champions will come in clutch and is definitely a must-have weapon to craft before Lightfall. With linear fusion rifles dropping off on damage output, Guardians will be eager to find substitutes for optimal boss damage. And one weapon that's already available and perfectly suited for such tasks is the Retrofit Escapade, even after a recent nerf to its prime weapon perk called Target Lock. This thing will absolutely chew through champions and bosses alike, especially when Target Lock gets paired up with 4th times the charm, alongside volatile rounds. A must-have weapon indeed. The final season of the Seraph standout that you need to get crafted now is the Aikilos SMG. Its return was so nostalgic, and the addition of Volt Shot was marvelous and has truly put the Aikilos as a forerunner in best current SMGs. While it's a bit slower than the Callus Mini Tool, registering in at 750 RPM, having Feeding Frenzy to pair up with Volt Shot will make the transition of reloading completely seamless, as you melt waves of adds and champions with ease. Beyond the aforementioned seasonal weapons, there are 4 additional weapons that are just as important to craft going into Lightfall. The only advantage is that they're not going away. Some of them even just recently arrived. The BXR Battler Solar Pulse Rifle, available through the 30th Anniversary Pack. This is one of the most agile and snappy pulse rifles in the game, offering a unique perk called Blunt Executioner, but also offering Incandescent, making it a very hot commodity going into Lightfall. To the same token, the Zaoli's Bane hand cannon from King's Fall and the Trustee Scout Rifle from Deepstone Crypt offer extremely powerful combinations that will be very beneficial in Lightfall. And the final weapon that we'll talk about today is the Deliverance, one of only 3 kinetic stasis fusion rifles, and available through the Vow of the Disciple. The Deliverance offers Chill Clip, but even better, Demolitionist with Chill Clip, making this one hell of a weapon to pair up with any grenade-focused build when taking on champions or anything else during Lightfall. And with that, we've covered the 12 weapons that you need to focus on and unlock patterns for and craft before Lightfall arrives on February the 28th. With that being said, I'd love to hear what you're most excited for with Lightfall and what weapons you're focusing on acquiring before it gets here. Let me know in the comments below. And thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then please be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. If you're a new Light Guardian just starting your journey, or a battle-hardened veteran just looking for a new home, then be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.